to stay the wheels of doom. This greatness rose. The Kala Chakra of death has to come to a stop. But there has to be some force which will halt its movement. And it is to stop this movement that Savitri rises in her greatness, in her full strength, in her full might, that she can really hold the wheels of doom back, halt its movement. To stay the wheels of doom, doom, the capital, the universal doom, death, which is the Lord of the present mortal creation. It is his chakra, wheel, which must come to a stop. And the only person who can do is Savitri. Savitri, who has housed in her soul the divine power. With that divine power in her soul, she can stop the movement of this wheel of doom. It was a worse desire which had compelled the mortal birth of Savitri. It was something which rose from earth, from the world, desired to see that no more there is the pain of death, no more the load of mortality weighing on his soul. That desire was carried by the yogi to the supreme transcendental divine force. And he prayed to her to take a human birth, to incarnate here upon earth and bring this wheel of doom to a halt. Why should Savitri take the mortal birth? Of course, to stay the wheel of doom. But what does this wheel of doom do? It comes in the way of the possibility of the spirit entering into the mortal creation. That is the issue. Doom, death is standing in the way of the divine event. The issue of the mortal creation is to lead it into the glories of the transcendent. Truth, beauty, joy, love, sweetness, power, knowledge, happiness, all these divine qualities must enter into the mortal creation. Ananda should fill the mortal creation, and it is that which is not happening in spite of repeated attempts made throughout the ages, yuga after yuga, eon after eon, attempts were made, but this was not happening because of the presence of death. As long as death is present in this creation, things will always go wrong. It will not allow all those glorious things to enter in here at all. So he is the block, and that block has to be removed. He is the wheel of doom, and the wheel of doom must be stopped. True, death has been instrumental in making the progress of the soul possible in the present state of ignorance. The soul has been progressing from more ignorance to less ignorance, from darker night to less dark night. That progress is being made, and that has been possible because of death. Death has been helping, but the real progress has to come from knowledge to greater knowledge, from truth to brighter, higher, sublimer, vaster truth. That has to happen, and it is not possible when death is present. Savitri comes, Savitri accepts the entire human load of this mortality. Savitri accepts the painful yoke of death and ignorance and fate. There is a force in her that has been toiling since the beginning of this earth. Since the earth was formed, Savitri has been working here to lift up the earth and make it open to the divine light. That force is to accomplish in life the great world plan. There is the world design of the transcendent himself, or the supreme himself, or this creation. And Savitri's presence, Savitri's force is to accomplish things in this world plan. She cannot leave things to chance, to circumstance, to the moment of time, to the whirling of the wheel of doom. She must match with the iron law of death her strength. Her strength should be able to conquer, should be able to change, should be able to remove, abolish the iron law of death. What is the iron law of death? Denial. The denial that the divine cannot exist in this mortal creation. It is that iron law which is held firmly by death. That has to go away, and Savitri is for that purpose. Savitri's birth is for that purpose, to stay the wheel of doom. She must rise. Her strength becomes greater by the lightning's touch. When the divine descent takes place in her, her strength also becomes greater. When the divine puissance sits in her soul, when she has discovered her soul, then there is a sudden inner transformation in her. The divine force has taken possession of her entire body, of her entire activity. The strength becomes greater by the lightning's touch. How does she achieve that? She has to catch a magic leverage. Savitri has to do yoga. She has to catch a magic leverage which can establish contact with a transcendental force. When she has established the contact with the transcendental force, then it is the transcendental force which will enter into her body and work here on a physical plane. The battle, this doom, this wheel, they are on the physical plane here, and Savitri has to establish the transcendental force in her physical to conquer death. What is the magic leverage? It could be a prayer, it could be action, a dynamism, it could be the power of knowledge. In fact, it is not knowledge or action or prayer individually. Each one has the element of the other. A prayer is itself an act of knowledge. So when her prayer becomes powerful, true, then it also gets knowledge. Same way, knowledge becomes effective, powerful when it is raised to the level of a prayer so that the descending force can enter in. When this leverage is caught, then is established the contact with a transcendental force. Savitri has done that. That divine presence now is seated in her soul. To stay the wheels of doom, this greatness rose. She has now become ready to take the challenge of death, win victory over death.